Hey guys, what's up? Strange here. I want to do a video on JJK. Probably my last full JJK video. I might do a video on the arc after this one. But anyway, you clicked on the video because you're here to see my Shibuya arc review. Um, and I told you guys this is coming. 2 videos ago. I'll still need to do one more my trailers video. But anyway, yeah, this is my Shibuya arc review. How this is gonna go is I'm gonna talk about most of the parts that I personally liked, some few parts that I don't, and I'll probably run over. Actually, I'll just do it at the start. I'll just run over everything as a whole. Now this is just a review. This isn't a synopsis or a summary or anything like that. If you want to watch one of those, I'm pretty sure there's a ton of YouTubers out there that have already done that. But it's just my personal opinion on the arc, so I'm gonna be jumping around a lot, going on tangents and everything. If you see my videos, you know what I yap. But anyway, I just want to say that a lot of people, when you're getting into JJK, or if you're about to get into JJK, I've heard a lot of people tell you just wait for Shibuya. Just wait for Shibuya. It's almost this inverse, or almost the same way that people tell you with Hunter x Hunter, you gotta get past the first Hunter exam. You just gotta get past the first arc. Or with JoJo, you have to get past part 1. You just have to get past part 1. Once you get past part 1, it's smooth sailing. It's a great series from there. And I feel like, or with One Piece, you got to get past the first 100 chapters, right? But I feel like with a lot of these series, that getting into them and knowing that they're great, knowing that they have this large fan base, and not expecting it to be kind of slow at first is disingenuous to, I feel like, storytelling as a whole. Well, me personally, when I'm getting into a series, and I know that either I'm going to like it, or I know that I'm going to try to make an effort to like it, I expect it to be slow at first. So rare to see a series just start off bang, first hitting, hard hitting stuff, good stuff. The only series that I can think of in recent memory that was able to do that is recently the Baki, I guess, soft reboot, because it still picks up from where the 2006 anime, 2003 anime, I think one of the two, left off. And that was the last few one that's the last one I could think of where it really starts off good. Other than that, every series nowadays starts off pretty slow. Chainsaw Man took a little bit. I didn't like that instantly. It took a little bit of build up just to get there. And so people do that a lot with JJK basically, and they tell you to wait till Shibuya arc. And me personally, I feel that if you have high hopes for the series, don't wait till the Shibuya arc. It's honestly, you'll know if you'll like it by the Shibuya arc, but I don't think the Shibuya arc is the best arc in JJK. Not by a long shot. Me personally, I really do like the next arc after this one, but Shibuya is a good arc. By no means is it a bad arc. It starts off with the evening festival, and I think one of the very first things we learn, and the very first thing to kick off the Shibuya arc, is that what is his name? Kokichi, the dude who has the big old Gundam mech later on. Kokichi is a traitor. He used the binding vow with Mahito, and I believe Mahito was like, hey, I'll use idol transfiguration and change your body and make sure you're all good, which is cool. Now the thing is that sucks is no more than maybe a couple chapters later is Kokichi dies. That sucks, man. Like, you get a big old Gundam mech, you get a big old mech, and I feel like Gege just wanted to write something where it was like, I want to put a goddamn mech in the series. I'm gonna put it in. So he decides to put in a mech, right? And he decides to do this, decides to put this in, right? Just for him to die a little bit later on. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I dug it. The anime did it amazing. The manga, first off, the manga did a great job. Gege did a great job just writing it. But the anime did a fucking stellar job. It did a great job having this entire almost Trigger-esque like fight and battle. And so, um, but he uses this mech to try to fight Mahito, I believe. And it kind of backfires. He ends up dying, but he kind of has this plan later on saved. Like, I don't know if he states where it's like, oh, it's okay if I die, but it basically has the whole gist of it. It was all right if he dies. For right now, it's all right. So he has this entire thing later on planned with Yuji. Now, there's a lot of names going on in these arcs. A lot of names. And most of these names, forgive me, I'm not going to necessarily remember all of them exactly as they are. But the next part that I'm going to get to is Gojo. Now, Gojo is, for me personally, I very much so dislike Gojo and his character and the fact that he's there, because he feels like a character that when he's there, it's an instant win. And the only character that I can think of in a series where it's there, he's an instant win, would be Saitama. So his character kind of facilitates him getting put away for there to be any type of conflict. Gojo can't be there, because if it's almost like the Naruto problem currently right now in Boruto, or as far as the last time I checked with Boruto, where Naruto has to be sealed away, Gojo has to be sealed away, and now that leads to predictable storytelling. And since that leads to predictable storytelling, in my opinion, isn't great storytelling. So at least in some points, you have to subvert. And Gojo almost being there, as soon as I was reading this, I'm like, okay, this is Shibuya. Everybody says it's a great arc, and I obviously know Gojo isn't dead yet, or isn't dead in this arc, or gets killed in this arc. So I wonder what's gonna happen. I'm thinking he's going to be fighting almost this big threat. Like, they have this big threat lined up, and he's going to be fighting it the entirety of the arc. Like, oh, do they separate Sukuna? What do they do? They just sail him away. And that to me is like, if you take Gojo out the problem, just for right now, that doesn't erase the problem. It's just the fact that, oh, they have this box that they can seal Gojo away. How many other boxes are there that can seal Gojo away? Is it just this one-time thing? There's no foreshadowing for the box. There's nothing there that makes me want to be like, that lends credence or respect, I guess, as far as to Gojo. He's just there to be sealed away. But I do admit, his fight against, I believe, all the other curses, freaking stellar, dude. He is molly-whopping everybody. He is just dog-walking everybody. And that's, to me, is just... I was watching it, and I was like, this is cool. By no means do I not understand why Gojo is cool. He is a cool character, like, in essence. He's just not cool to me. There are some things that he does that are cool, but to me, as a full-on character, in order to be cool, I guess you gotta have some type of weakness. And it doesn't seem like he really has too much of a weakness. If he was not as cocky, he wouldn't have been caught inside the box. But... you know, that's a perfect world. Of course, you're going to be cocky if you're him. I get it. I understand. But for the most part, he comes in. I think he gets Hanami. He completely wipes away Hanami. And then we get introduced to a character called Mei. Now, with all the Mei stuff, truth be told, Japan's weird. Like, they're really weird. All this Mei stuff is weird. Don't get me wrong. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. It's weird. I'm not going to get past it. I'm not going to say, like, oh, it's like the most terrible thing. It doesn't take away anything from the series from me. It's just weird. Gege put that in, and I'm like, I question it. It was a big question mark just above my head. Why? But other than that, it's whatever. It was like 2 seconds. I guess they flashed past it, and he has his uses. So, I mean, what am I gonna do? Blame the kid? It's weird. But it makes sense. I like Mei's ability as well. I believe she has like that. I believe it was something of a what is it? I forget her ability at this time, but I remember I have it written down that, oh no, her ability is dope. I like her ability. If I remember, it's the bird one, right? I think it's the bird one. And she was like, nobody can dodge or not get hit by this attack. And then it says in parentheses, except Satoru Gojo. So, I do like overall the character of Mei and us getting, I don't necessarily say introduced to her, but really fully getting to know her, getting to see her fight. Now, the person who does the most, and the person I feel bad for the most this arc, I'm gonna run over just characters wise, by far is Jogo. His goal, okay, when I'm looking at JJK the first time, I'm seeing this character named Jogo. So I've seen and known of Jogo for like now years, right? I didn't think that. I thought his role in the story was going to be far more important. And this is a constant thing with Gege, and I guess the fan base of JJK, where you think these characters are going to be far more important than they really are. Toji's another good example. You see Toji almost like in a lot of these places in the hidden inventory arc. I'm thinking he's still going to be a relevant character now. But not really. No, he's a character that appears. He's a vestige of the past that appears for a couple of, like, maybe an hour in actual, like, in that world's time. So I'm seeing Jogo, and Jogo is almost this force to be reckoned with, right? For all the normal characters, but dude, he makes me feel bad for him. He keeps running across these goats that he cannot do anything against. This marks the second time he runs against Gojo. The second time he runs against Gojo, he can't do anything. Nothing. Later down in the arc, all the people he could do something about, he doesn't do anything about. Or sorry, he does. Maki, I think Megumi escapes all good. Maki's uncle as well. And Nanami as well. He goes, like, completely just wipes in a couple seconds. It's like Jogo is a talent, like, he is a threat, dude. Like, to normal people, he's a threat. But then, right after that, these girls, the Geto's daughters, or however you would want to call them, I guess his adopted daughters, are feeding Yuji. They're feeding Yuji the Sukuna fingers, and they're feeding them all 15. Dude, they're feeding him the fingers. Yuji Sukuna now gets up, completely wipes the floor. Anyway, that's for another thing. But anyway, I feel bad for Jogo because he has a very simple goal, and I feel like he's overlooked a lot of the time within the community because he doesn't have a really great design. His design isn't like the one eye. It's not really compelling, nor is it cool. It's not a cool design. Mahito has a cool design, and I guess it's based in the closer to being a humanoid you are, the better your design, or the cooler your design's gonna look to some people. Pokemon has a real big problem with that, and I'm a very big, I'm a big proprietor, I guess, of the problem. I think all the humanoid Pokemon look really cool, and I know a lot of people don't prefer that with Pokemon. But Jogo has this problem where I feel like a lot of people overlook him. And of course, you got the Jogoat fans. The Jogoat fans are awesome, but man, he has this really goal that I can almost not necessarily relate to, but him saying that he wants to become like the next humans. I get that. The Chimera Ants have the same type of thought process where Meruem kind of wants to take over, and it's time for the next evolution, time for the next step. So that's really cool. I felt really bad for Jogo. Now, Gojo gets locked up, Gojo gets locked up. He gets taken away. And I guess the next part after that, at least, is Yuji and or the next big part, at least, is that old woman summoning her I think it was her 2 sons. No. Yeah, I think it was her 2 or 3 sons. I think it was 2. Yuji completely... they kind of figure out, Yuji and Megumi kind of figure out that, I like this dude's ability, that the harder you try to punch him, the more it's going to, the less it's going to hurt him. That is Gegero. It's probably been done before. It definitely has been done before. Don't get me wrong. It's been done before. But it's such a cool ability to give a fodder villain, because but that's an ability you can make like a main villain, honestly, depending on how you write it. But that is such a cool ability. They figured out quickly too that, wow, I'm punching this dude hard, it's doing nothing. And then they figure, like, hit him with a couple rabbits and he's done. Like, that's cool. That's a really cool interaction. I live for those types of manga interactions where they're having him, where it's not necessarily super long, but it's not quick either. You can see the thought process taking place. You see them come to almost this hypothesis where, if then but, or if this, the hypothesis basically things where if this happens, then this happens, right? So it's like, oh, you see them try different things, and they have the ability to try different things. They don't get mollywalked, they don't get dog walked or anything. They can still try out different things. I love seeing that. I like JoJo for that reason as well. A lot of Jogos, yeah, all that. I like JoJo for that reason as well, because you can see the character's thought process take place. Gege is very talented in the sense that he can write down a good thought process sometimes. Megumi trying to repeatedly summon Maharaga is by far one of my only critiques. One of my only critiques of the series. It really lessened. I get that there's need to be foreshadowing. There could have been a different way you could have foreshadowed it, but him repeatedly with this sacred treasure, repeatedly, and then when he does summon it, it's against the absolute, just the most fodder of fodder guys ever. He doesn't pick Toji, but whatever, fine. We need to see Maharaga in some type of capacity, I guess, so we can see him later on. But anyway, later on you have, or not even later on, you have Yuji and Megumi end up beating the fodder guy, and then the other grandson gets turned and changed into Toji. Now, I feel a certain type of way about this. I've stated before in my previous video of Toji versus Metal Bat. You should watch that, by the way. Great video. Of course, I'm going to say that because it's my video. But Toji comes back. Now, I'm reading this for the very first time. I'm getting hype. I'm getting excited. I'm jumping up and down. I'm hollering to the world. Toji's back. I'm finally getting it. I understand why now everybody is talking about this dude. He's back. He's back for good. Let's go. He's about to kill everybody. The whole world's changing. He's not gonna get wiped out by Gojo again. He knows Gojo's stuff. He's not gonna fight him. I understand that. I was thinking he probably doesn't want the smoke with this dude, right? I get that. But let's go. I'm hyped. I'm getting ready. We see him kill the old lady. Alright, I get that. I understand. He kills the old lady, wipes her out. After that, we see Nobara. Now, because there's that cutaway. Now, I'm freaking excited. That kept me engaged. This was the part in Shibuya that really, it locked me in. Toji's back. Okay. Alright. I thought he was going to just be kind of done for. I thought he was the person in the series that kind of just changed up everything. But we cut away from that for now. We'll get to that later. And I really did dig that. I really dug that, man. One thing. If this dude Gege doesn't stop giving people, I see Ino wearing the fit, and Gege, he writes this perfectly. I see Ino wearing the fit. The dude that Toji takes over his body. Now, Ino's wearing this fit. It means nothing. It means nothing. It doesn't look great on him, right? But man, this dude Gege, if he doesn't stop writing these hard ass outfits, bro. These hard ass outfits. He knows how to put these outfits and construct the nicest outfits together with the simplest, using just the simplest things, man. The Yuji's outfit, fucking great, dude. He knows how to construct these outfits perfectly. Look at Toji. Toji comes back, and all he's wearing, right, is gray sweater with some black pants and some black shoes. But I swear he makes it look so hard every single time. I don't know how he does it. I think again, it's almost approaching these Bleach levels of simple character design. But dude, sometimes simple is just, and I don't mean Bleach has simple character design. Let me take it back. This approaching this level of character design that of just looking cool. And that is a large portion, I think, of at least anime character design, is making your characters look cool. And he knows how to put his characters in modern clothes and make them look cool. And that I appreciate a lot. Gege knows how to do that. And by far, it's fucking great with Toji. He did a great job with Toji. Can't wait for Yuji to look cool. Still waiting on that one. But Nobara confronts, I think it's Shigemo, the dude with the hand sword and the miracles. Bitches him out, basically. He runs away. Nanami confronts him, bitches him out, he runs away. Now we see Shigemo, he's almost almost this not really this force to be reckoned with, but he at all, and he's not necessarily, I don't want to call him a jobber, because he did in a certain way, Maharaga, he needed Megumi needed Magaraga to beat him, apparently. Because I guess he was just so damn tired. But anyway, those parts I don't really care too much about, so I'll just skip over them. Again, this isn't a summary. This is just me going over the parts that I really like. Yuji versus Choso. Now, in the manga, this was a neat battle. It was all right. But in the anime, dude, they killed it in the anime, especially with the flashback. The way they animated it to be almost like these 90s aesthetics for the current modern era is so great. It's so amazing. I love it so much. And the way Choso almost kind of realizes where he does beat Yuji. I will say he full-handedly beats Yuji, but then he realizes that, oh no, I'm related to this dude. And it, for some reason, 9 times out of 10, I'd call that an ass pull. 9 times I'd be like, that's an ass. Come on, gay. But no, that is great. Because it makes sense. Whenever you're writing a character, at least to me, whenever you're writing a character, you don't want to reveal their backstory so quickly. You want there to be a certain portion of their backstory that remains hidden. At least for anime and shonen, that remains hidden for a very long time. Look at One Piece. We didn't know Luffy's backstory for over 100 chapters. All we knew was he came from the island, and then we know the Shanks bit. But there is 8 years between Shanks and him leaving that island, Fusha Village. There's 8 years. I like that. We don't really know Yuji. We know him and his grandpa. We know the last dying moments of his grandpa. Everything beforehand, we don't know. And the story acknowledges that, but they don't stay on it. They don't linger on it, and they move forward. I love that with this type of writing. It has great writing. Again, there's a couple of things that I have a problem with Shibuya, but it is a good arc. It is a solid ass arc. It's the first great arc in JJK. Hidden, actually, I take that back. Hidden Inventory was great. Is great, but it's the first like full-on great arc, like full shonen arc. But anyway, Choso realizes this, and he's like, "Oh, this is my brother. Wow. Okay. Takes place. He realizes this. Yuji's like, well, okay, I guess this is happening now. And Choso joins over on our side. Cool. He's on our side now. He will never suffer, at least as far as I'm caught up, he will never suffer repercussions for being on the other side at any point. It's fine. It's a shonen thing that happens. Bad guy becomes good. Nobody really gives him too much shit for it. Okay, Yuji is contacted by Kokichi. Now, he's already dead, but I guess he was able to put a little bit of cursed energy into being a consciousness for Yuji for a little bit. This doesn't last for long. I would have loved it if Kokichi. I love death as much as in any series, as much as anybody does the next dude, right? I love it, right? But I think it would have been so much cooler because he's Mechamaru. Him and his curse techniques would have been so much cooler if it was like expanded on later down the line, and I guess it was kept. I would have hoped he would have had a failsafe, and seeing this world's like almost not necessarily Batman, but Mechamaru having a plan for everything would have been great. Him putting his consciousness, if that's even capable, I would have loved to see that. Him putting his consciousness in another vessel, since he was so used to doing that with his power, I think would have made so much sense. Him fully committing, putting his consciousness somewhere else. And later on, you'll see with a certain brain that you kind of can, it looks like, do something of that. So seeing him do that would have been really cool, and him kind of backing up Yuji for a little bit, and then him kind of having his consciousness somewhere else, sitting around waiting to get another body. That would have been really cool. But instead, whatever, I'm cool with what we got. He's dead now, but he helps out Yuji currently, or I guess in the story, what I'm talking about currently. I guess after that, yeah, okay, cool. After that, we have Dagon. Now, Dagon's cool. Lovecraft reference. I love Lovecraft. Another thing I might do a video on later on. But you should watch this dude. I forget his name. I'll probably put his video somewhere on the screen. But he has a video on all the Lovecraft entities and stuff like that. You guys should totally give it a watch. It's a great video. I'll try to see if I can put it in the description. I might forget, but if I do, totally watch this video. I'll put it definitely here in the editing. Dagon. The Dagon fight's cool because you think it's just gonna be a complete, like, oh, they're gonna just wipe out this small little spirit, and of course Gege knows to subvert the expectation here, not to have it like that. Instead, he has Dagon grow to this huge size, like absolutely just jacked, huge, and he knows not to, I guess, not to play too much, I guess, on that. He knows to get right to it. And we see Maki, Nanami, and what is homeboy's name? Big Zenin, I guess, the uncle. He has a really dope ability. The frame ability is really cool. If you ever read a webcomic called Shag and Scoob, there is an ability called Frame by Frame. And it's not exactly like that ability at all, but it reminds me of the ability, of course, because the name and the content that it's dealing with. And it's a great ability. I love those type of abilities. I love abilities, especially taken, like, creative ones taken by the concept of TV, the concept of animation. Those are cool abilities to me. So, I'm watching Frame by Frame. I mean, my bad. I'm watching, whatever, we'll call it Frame by Frame, or whatever the ability's name is. I'm watching, his frame ability, and it's dope. And then, we see the domain expansion from Dagon. Dagon expands out, and of course the domain expansion makes every every hit you do a guaranteed hit, amongst other things. But we see those abilities come out, and everybody's kind of getting whooped on, and it's interesting because you would think this Zenin dude, Maki's uncle, would be almost as strong as Gojo. But he's not. Like, he's holding his own, mind you. I will say that. I'm not taking anything away from that. He's holding his own. But it's very interesting for a lot of animes. What they do is they always make the old men really strong. In One Piece, if you're an old man and you survived in that world, there's a reason why. You are strong in some way. Look at Garp, look at Sengoku, look at Rayleigh, look at Whitebeard. Those guys are really strong, and they survived long enough in this world. Hell, Brook's an old man. Look at Brook. These guys are strong. And they're really strong. They've had to be strong. You don't survive long in that world without being strong in some way or sense. Even the old women are strong as well. Boa's predecessor, one of the girls on Amazon, Lily, they're also strong. Sorry for the One Piece references, but I love One Piece. But anyway, they fight Dagon, and Dagon goes into domain expansion. They fight a little bit more. Megumi comes in, and then he starts doing a domain expansion of his own, kind of to nullify this. And then we get to the point where I wanted to really talk about, my goat. Toji comes in. Rex shop. This dude. Now, the thing is with Toji is, it is implied, at least in the story it seems, that he's doing this all off muscle memory. He's not even really thinking. Like, he's thinking, don't get me wrong, but he's not thinking, like, in depth, or he's not being able to consciously be like, oh, that's that person, that's that person, that's that person. He's not thinking about that. He's just worried, curse. He sees a curse, wipe out, and he's thinking, and he's taking all the proper procedures to do that. And he is so damn surgical with it. Toji comes in, starts whooping on the curse, grabs Maki's, the nunchucks, starts sharpening them up, starts taking them, starts sharpening them, making sure they're all nice and clean. And then he starts whooping on them with the sharpened nunchucks. And here's the thing, we've seen Maki do some crazy things over the series. Catch a bullet right in front of her face, do all these crazy nice things. But we see this dude come in, start whooping on him, and we see how far this gap is between Maki and Toji, and it serves as this great kind of thing where, Maki, that could be you. Now, of course, Toji was kind of implied, or at least it seems like in the story, that Toji's been like this. Toji has been this goated since the start. Maki needs to get there, but Toji's been like this from the start. I don't even know if Toji's ever had to do training really like that. or if was he just born like that? I know he was born like that, but did he ever have to, like, do we never see Toji like bench anything, or we never see Toji like running or training or anything like that? It seems like he's just an assassin, and he just has been doing that most of his life. But yeah, man, seeing him completely come in, and then one of the Zenin uncle was like, woo, like, jeez, okay. Wipes out the curse, takes out the curse, and then we see him take on Megumi. Now, Jogo comes in, Maki, everybody fire, they all get burned. But we see Megumi versus Toji. Okay. I get far in terms of this story. Hopefully we'll see Toji again. I doubt it, because we've already seen him once. If you wanted to keep him around, he would have kept him around. I dislike how Gege handled, and this is one of my main gripes to this arc, is I dislike how Gege handled this entire thing with Toji and Megumi. Megumi even means, if I'm not mistaken, Megumi means blessing, right? So, in a weird type of way, Gege has written where Toji has this big impact on Gojo, like a very big impact on Gojo, as well as a very big impact on Geto. I dislike sometimes how Gege handles his villains. It feels like there's not enough, and characters. It feels like certain times there's not enough respect for the characters that he's written, and there's not enough respect for the villains that he's written. For instance, freaking Geto being wiped out by Yuta. Come on, man. Like, Geto's been a goddamn sorcerer for how long now? And Yuta's been doing it for 6 months, and Yuta's able to wipe him out. Come on. That to me is like that. He's doing Geto dirty. Like, Gojo. He doesn't. I know Gege. I don't think Gege doesn't have the best opinion, or does he really like Gojo? He doesn't like what he's written with Gojo that much. But man, it just makes me almost think like he has Toji, this story thing where Toji gives Megumi basically to Gojo, right? Gojo gets Toji's blessing. Megumi means blessing. Toji gives his blessing to Gojo, right? And his blessing is his son. Who does Gojo's Toji, the main curse he has, the one curse he has, his hidden inventory curse, that goes to Geto. Geto gets Toji's curse. And we even see where their characters now operate on that consensus. They're almost like two sides of Toji. Toji's influential for that very reason. All of that just for Geto to be wiped out by Yuta and Gojo to be Gojo. To me, it's like there's so much wasted potential here where you don't necessarily have to keep Toji around, but for this upcoming battle where Megumi is a blessing and a way or form to Toji, I wish Toji could have displayed that more, instead of just saying like, hey, what's your last name? You know, Fugi, Megumi's last name. And Toji's to be like, oh, okay, and stab himself in the head. I don't understand, maybe somebody can explain it to me, but I don't fully understand why he did that. I don't get it. Was there anything on the curse that was saying that he couldn't stay in that body? Was there anything on that curse? The woman was dead. The curse would have probably lasted. I don't see why he did that. I don't want necessarily a full-on Naruto Minato talk. I don't want that. But something more would have been good. Because I doubt Megumi's going to have that conversation with Toji that we're going to see where they're both alive like that. A struggle to live would have been great. And that's the whole thing with Toji's character, where it feels like the respect given is Toji doesn't want to live, nor do we ever see that he struggles. He fights Gojo, and he knows obviously that Gojo, he's out of the depth. Gojo's learned RCT. He's learned reverse curse technique. We don't see Toji struggle. Instead, he fights. He stays and he fights. He fights Megumi, and instead of him thinking of a way or understanding, or even hell, if he would have asked Gojo, I don't see why. There's no struggle within Toji's words, and to me that's like almost like the dude who's been struggling his whole life, in the sense that his clan doesn't accept him because of what he is, and he is an outcast to his own family. We never see him like actually fully struggle, or fully struggle for his life. At least we never see him struggle for his life. we just see him kind of almost always take this accepting fate, and it would have been nice for the first time he accepts death 100% because he feels as if he deserves it. But he gets a second trial at life, and he instead just says, well, okay, and sticks a knife in his head, or sticks the playful cloud or whatever in his head and calls it a day. To me, that's almost wasted potential. There could have been done more, and there could have been a whole bunch more story beats. Of course, Gege is of course a better writer than I, in the sense that I haven't written a story or anything like that. And it's certainly not as popular as JJK or anything. But I don't know. I feel like there could have been more done with Toji as a whole. But anyway, we're gonna get more to the Sukuna part. I think Yuji's knocked out. The Geto's daughters start force feeding Yuji's fingers. Now, Jogo comes in and he looks like he's about to wipe out the girls. Freaking Sukuna comes in, zoom, chops off Jogo's hand, saying, "Get your dirty mitts off me. Get off me. I don't want you touching me." That's cool. That's really dope. Sukuna coming in is always cool. Sukuna comes in. The girls, again, another thing. People not having the appropriate respect. These girls are scared of Sukuna now, mind you. They're scared. They're comparing Sukuna, 15 figure Sukuna, and Jogo is to Gojo, and saying, wow, it's like this whole different feeling of pressure, where it's like, I am going, like, not you could die, no, you are going to die. And it seems like this whole pressure thing is important to them. And the girls, again, respect for the characters. I feel like the girls, there could have been more done with the girls, because now, with the entirety of Geto, I guess his characters, and the characters shown in JJK 0, there's nothing there that's going to carry on the Geto line. So to me, what is Geto's purpose within the story, except maybe he's going to have influence on the living characters, right? He's going to have influence on who? Exactly. On Yuta? Like, that's it? Everybody else, Geto will be a forgotten memory to everybody. Gojo, no matter what happens to him, Gojo is going to be remembered. He has respect for Gojo, obviously. And Gojo is going to be a remembered person obviously for Yuta and for Maki and for everybody else. But Geto's memory is completely just going to be wiped because these girls decided to command instead of asking Sukuna something that seems so simple. Something they could have said, "May you please do this." Instead they say, "Can you do this?" They could have just asked. And the thing is, ask nicely, head bowed down. I believe one of the girls looks up. Why? And then another girl tries to take a picture. Why? The pressure is supposed to be keeping you down. To me, it's the whole point. The whole point of hidden inventory is supposed to show how two different sorcerers come into contact with this life, with this whole. They can see the entirety of the sorcerer's life, and how these two sorcerers are going to walk away, at least my interpretation of it, walk away and have separate impacts on the world. But instead we just see Geto because he's not as strong as Gojo, and he's not nearly as talented, but he is ambitious. We instead see him be constantly punished for it, which, I mean, it makes sense, he's a villain, but God, I would like for some opportunity for the villain to at least have an opportunity or two to kind of think about his actions and be like, wow, my life isn't terrible. My life doesn't suck. I actually have these great things. And he does have that with the daughters, but when he dies, then his daughters die, what, maybe a couple months later? If that, maybe, what, a year later, I think? His daughters die because they're trying to say, hey, you know, we just want our teachers' bodies back. Like, they're not even asking for anything crazy. They're not asking for anything wild. The respect for the character, at least for Geto, at least, is like very minimal. It's not really there. It doesn't seem like Gege really wants there to be anything done. He kind of seems like he wants to be done with Gojo and Geto. He doesn't want to, like, okay, Gojo's Geto, you know, whatever, right? The next thing is probably is Sukuna coming in he's fighting. He tells Jogo, and he's like, Jogo, here's what you need to do. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna fight now, and if you can land just one hit on me, now. Am I always like man, he just wants to write a fight scene between, dude, he just wants Jogo to go all out so we can see what Jogo's all out looks like. Do I know what's happening? Yeah. Am I gonna hate on him? No. That scene is too cool. That scene is great. Especially in the anime. They animated it great. The whole Sukuna coming in and then just wiping everybody out. Not everybody out, as in, like, he's not going in taking out individual people, but he is going in and he's, like, dodging just his attacks, and he's completely just knocking down Jogo, just peg by peg, like, just completely wiping him out. And then he comes in, messes with Panda for a little bit. Like, he's obviously, I love it when you can see the villain having fun. I love it when you can see the villain having fun. That's probably one of the best things about reading about anime, at least to me, is anime lets the villains, and as far as, like, I guess Japanese writing, they let their villains have fun. They let their villains show off, and they let their villains, like, hey, this is just how skillful this guy is. Madara and Naruto, him going against the entirety of the Shinobi Alliance, they let this dude, Madara's doing that, he's having fun. Suga's doing this. He's going against this large curse over here, slamming meteors together. Like, dude, Sukuna's having fun. And it's so hard to hate when somebody's having genuine fun, not like the edgy laughter because, like, something, like, terrible just happened and ha ha ha, mwah ha ha. Like, not like that. That's lame. But when a character is obviously having genuine fun and it's written to be like, oh, he's having fun because he likes these type of situations, it's so hard to hate on that, because it's like, I get it. Everybody has those types of things where they like doing, and that's what he likes doing, obviously. Jogo doesn't have a chance in hell. Never did. So, Sukuna completely beats him down and says, oh, you were strong. Which is add more insult to injury, considering Jogo's crying. And he's crying like a human. He's showing emotions. He's probably one of the most, I know Gege probably went for this, one of the most human characters. He wasn't even a human, he was a curse. But he's crying. And he asks Sukuna, what is this? Sukuna says, don't ask me, I don't know. That is so funny. Bro, Sukuna, you are a human. Like, you know what that is. He knows intentionally what that is. And he is, nope, I don't know. Don't ask me. But he figures out, he finishes up with that fight. Megumi, after he's done fighting Toji, he runs across Miracle Boy, Suguruma, whatever his damn name is. Let me see, because now I have to see what his name is, because now it's gonna mess with my head if I just completely forget what it is. Shigemo. Megumi fights Shigemo. He's successful for the one time that he did it, and it's like the most troll time to do it too. He decides to go, with the secret Caesar, I summon Maharaga. He summons Maharaga comes out. Now, whatever sick bastard decided that I'm going to put 9 animals and then one fucking biblically accurate angel, like this demon general. Whatever dude decided to do that is just, comedy master. 10 out of 10. I don't know who made the Tin Shadow technique, but he obviously had a sense of humor, because, like, what it goes, I think the last one is like a snake or a bull or something, and it goes from a snake and a bull to all the way to the demon general, like a huge jump in, like, talk about difficulty spike, a huge jump in difficulty as far as, like, oh yeah, like this to this, and then boom, like right, and they know he knows exactly, and we gotta say the whole name, mind you. It's not just Maharaga, it's 8-handled sword, divergent Sila, divine general Maharaga. I don't even know if this dude's, it says divine in there, but also it's like, it's just, is he an angel? Is he a demon? We don't know. And that's so great, because it's like, oh, this dude is, the Shigemo is just like, oh, you're cooked. The name alone, you're cooked. You're done. Not to mention the stature, that he know exactly how to represent, like, each and every, like, almost threat Gege knows how to represent threats properly. Um, Eventually Sukuna comes in, and he activates his domain extension to defeat Maharaga. Now that fight between those two, man, I thought it could have been cooler, but it was pretty cool nonetheless. Just could have been a little bit longer, but the fight in the manga isn't that long either. Now, the next part is Nanami getting murked. That was cool. That was really dope. I like that scene. It's finally, it's almost like it's time. It's finally time for Yuji to get his shit together. And hey, this is serious. This ain't no, Junpei was one thing, right? You need Junpei for a little bit. Nanami, that's another thing. That's a whole other thing. That is closer to your sensei than Gojo is. I feel like Nanami has taught Yuji, respectfully, I feel like Nanami has taught Yuji more than Gojo has, as far as like experience in the field. But he wipes him out. They fight for a little bit, and then because Yuji just completely continues to keep on attacking Mahito. Nobara comes in. He's also kind of a counter to Mahito. Nobara gets kind of wiped. She gets handled. After that, we see my goat come in, Aoi Todo. Come in. Does a black flash on Mahito for no reason. Love him. Gets his hand cut off. Love him. He comes in and he knows damn well what he's doing. He's there and he understands this isn't my battle. Like, that isn't his battle to fight. It's Yuji's. And he understands that, and he lets Yuji do his thing. It seems like there's at least a lot of respect for the characters to go through these certain arcs themselves. I do have respect for Gege for that. He's not gonna have two people fight the same character because that's not the place. He could have easily written Yuji and Todo to take down Mahito. He could have written it. The story is that, but he didn't. Instead, he wanted Yuji to take down what is it? He said he wanted Yuji to take him down, and he does. The whole snow thing and everything was really cool. I am you, and you are me. That realization by Yuji, and finally, a character confirming moment where he goes and he decides that, no, this is it as far as like for you, and this is a new beginning for me. That was beautifully done. Great job done by Gege. After that, Yuki comes in. And before Urame can kill sorcerers, and Geto or pseudo Geto at that time, and Urame escape with the prison route. So pretty much the heroes get Shibuya, and Gojo will be freed at least later on. And yeah, overall I think the arc was done great. I love the arc. It was greatly done arc. Again, my few problems with it was it just felt like a couple of the characters from the previous arcs, as far as like hidden inventory, especially just hidden inventory, because it came right before this one, weren't really that well respected in terms of how their characters, so just Yuji and Geto mainly, and their lines go. But as far as that goes, I feel like this, other than that, of course, this arc was done well. There wasn't anything, I guess, that I tend to ignore animation a lot of the time. The animation in the anime is done, it's done great. But taking that away, I feel like, of course, because like I said, animation is one thing, but storytelling is another. And the manga does a good job putting in the storytelling. The fights could have been a little better to me, at least in the manga. I feel like Gege has a little bit of a problem when it comes down to paneling. If you guys want a good example of what good paneling is like, is go check out the original Dragon Ball Z manga. Great job done by Toriyama. The one thing I give him praise for. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying by any means Dragon Ball Z is better by JJK. By no means am I saying that. Just the paneling, and the action scenes, and how each action scene goes to each action scene. Toriyama does a great job. The writer of Dragon Ball Z does a great job of writing paneling and doing that. Gege, I feel like, needs a little bit of work on that. Other than that, and I would like sometimes it's hard to know what's going on in the manga, as far as at that point. But I do like the arc. Don't get me wrong. I complain a lot, but I do like the arc. The arc was good. Especially if we're gonna talk about the anime. The anime was done great. I love seeing all the low tier god edits. Of Mahito in the snow. Great, great job. I'm very excited for the next arc. As far as when it comes into the anime, I'll probably upload a manga version of this. This is the manga and anime version. I'll probably update the manga version of the next arc. So when the anime comes around, I can upload the anime version of that arc. But this is just the manga and anime version because I'm a bit late with doing the manga version. But yeah, I did like the arc. It was a great arc. Like I said, some things could be fixed up, but other things, for the most part, I feel like it was just it's Gege coming along, and you gotta learn some things as a writer. Not everything's gonna be perfect for everybody. I'm one of those people. I know people really prefer the whole, especially now, they prefer their shonens to be a little bit more darker, and I like that too. It's just sometimes we get a little bit overboard with the whole killing thing. It makes me not really, for instance, I have Chainsaw Man to me has one of the similar problems where if you're killing off most of the main characters, then I come to expect that. And again, predictability is great. You gotta find that perfect little middle ground. I have the same complaint with One Piece, but it's reversed. Not enough characters are killed off. And again, now I know in One Piece that not that many characters are gonna be killed off. So we need to come. You just need to find that nice little middle ground. Trails, honestly, I have that same problem with. Find a nice little middle ground, and yeah. Anyway, that's my review of JJK. Sorry for the long-winded video. I could have went over it faster, I think, maybe, but meh. I like talking to a camera. Anyway, you guys have a good one. You guys keep it going out there, and yeah, be sure to be safe out there, and yeah.